This is ESBR Boxing, and I'm delighted to be joined by none other than the public nuisance himself, Sean McComb. Sean, how are things, mate?
All good, mate. All good. Just finished camp today, funny enough. So buzzing about that. I'm excited for a big week ahead.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, there you go then. I'm sure you're glad another camp's done now. What we're filming this, what, 8, 9 days away from fight night. How you feeling about fighting and the whole event?
Yeah, you know what? It's just great to see it's such a big platform as now in Belfast, and obviously we've had the big shows, with Collins and Colin boxing and stuff that still provided the shows, but I think this one makes it just that wee bit more exciting with the big televised the zone show and matchroom and it's not just a big event in Belfast now, it's a big event worldwide.
Absolutely. Took the words out of my mouth there. Do you think that you'll be able to tell just by the whole have you been able to tell even so far the fact that this is a Conlan boxing with matchroom boxing, it's that kind of level up.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I think obviously I think that the pedigree of the fighters on the show and the matchmaking shows you that anyway, that's level up. I mean the four main fights on the main card is just all fantastic matchmaking. 50-50 fights right across the board, and honestly it's just for me looking in as if I was a spectator, it's the best boxing card I think Belfast ever seen.
It's some statement, and you know what? Don't think really you can really disagree with you in terms of from the top of the card right down. You're obviously one of the main fights yourself, Sean. You're fighting Sam Maxwell, who a lot of viewers will know. He's obviously the former British and Commonwealth super lightweight champion, former IBO world champion as well. What do you know about him and what he brings?
Well, me and Sam were actually teammates for about 2.5 years. We lived together in Glasgow, so we've done hundreds of rounds sparring. So it's not going to be your typical fight where you get in and you're trying to suss each other out. We know what we're both good at. We've shared that many rounds sparring, and we've shared friendship for many years now. And this is just a perfect example of what professional boxing is. It's just business, and at the end of the day, it's two people trying to fulfill their dreams and push on the world honors. And I know what he brings to the table, and he knows what I bring to the table, and it's going to be a case of him preventing me doing what I do good, and me preventing him doing what does good. And I think that has the makings of a great fight.
Absolutely. That's really interesting and intriguing. The fact that you've shared hundreds of rounds of sparring together. I'm not even going to ask you about how it went because I suppose your answer would probably be sparring, as what most fighters say. But do you think that you know is it a matter of friends leading up to the fight, kind of when it gets to the few weeks out, it's all business, fighting or like opponents. You're seeing them as opponent, and then is it one where after however many rounds it goes, it's sharing a pint afterwards?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just like we haven't spoke to each other now. Like obviously, from the fight's been announced or anything, a few people have asked me, "Hey, have you spoke to each other? Have you said anything?" It's like no, it's just like. But I know a lot of fighters block other fighters from seeing their stories and seeing their Instagram until the fight's over. Like it's been none of that carry on. Um, because it's entirely different when you get in the ring and someone's in front of you and there's distance control and there's feints. It's a whole lot different, and it doesn't matter what training he's done or what training I've done. Um, obviously it does, but I mean it's not going. I believe Sam's put 100% in his camp, and he'll know that I'll have put 100% in my camp, and the tactics on the night are just going to be what he's going to do and what I'm going to do, and I think as you say, it'll just be a case of getting in, fighting, and and shaking hands at the end of the day and sharing a pint.
Absolutely, yeah. The way it should be. I think that's boxing done right sometimes. Looking at Sam Maxwell, obviously, as I mentioned, everyone knows who he is. He's 35 now. He has lost two of his last three fights. So when you look at it purely on paper, do you think you're perhaps getting him at the right time? Do you think that people are, or is that unfair?
Don't look. I don't know, but the only thing I can say is he's come up against two great oppositions. And the two losses. I mean, Dalton Smith's a great prospect. Um, And then Menes is every world champion. He's tough as old boots. And when you look at that fight, it was a real 50-50 fight. I think I think Meneses, I think his name is, his resilience just showed in the end, and his toughness and he just broke Sam. But other than that, I mean, the performance was there from Sam, and you can't really take that away from him. So he's still very capable of performing at a good level. And I think he's still very, very dangerous. So for me, it's one that put it this way, it's the hardest fight of my career, no doubt about it. So no matter what age I got Sam at, I'm not looking at him like that because he still performed well even when he lost. And and, and if he can bring that performance into fights, then I'm still going to be in danger at times. So I need to be fully focused and fully switched on.
100%. It's fair play for admitting that as well. Do you think that looking at on fight night, obviously the SSA arena will be bouncing, not just for yourself, but as you said, a whole host of Irish fighters on the bill. Does that add that extra bit between your teeth at all?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's what you've put your life, nights like these are what you've put your whole life into boxing for. There's not many people get the opportunity to do this. There hasn't been many fighters who's got the opportunity to do this. Um, in Belfast, maybe like if you're talking boxers throughout like careers, you're talking anyone who was lucky enough to get on maybe Cars Frampton shows, um, and maybe Conlon shows. But will have even got close to this atmosphere and what it brings. But I think now it's a completely different ball game with Matchroom coming in, and I think the ticket sales are going to, like they're it's basically sold out. And I think the difference is going to be as time is fight week. Matchroom will bring a really good fight week where they'll have a press conference, like a real good press conference. They'll have a real good um weigh-in setup. They'll have like everything will be they'll have a public workout, and then like I think Eddie Hearn does the 5K with all the local boxing clubs and stuff like that. So that's going to bring a whole lot of hype on fight week, and anyone that missed out on tickets is going to regret that come next week.
Yeah, definitely echoing every sentiment you say there. You mentioned that this is the toughest fight of your career here, Sean. What does a win here do for you going forward?
Um, I don't really know. Haven't thought much about it. I haven't really thought much about it at all, to be honest. All I'm focused on is winning. And what I do know is it'll open up another opportunity, the same way my last one opened an opportunity for this one, and it's just opportunity. Like at the minute, I have no promoter. For me, ideally, what I would like is another maybe fight or two with Eddie Hearn with Matchroom, stay on a Matchroom show, and I believe he's the man to get me the world honors and get me the world like world honor opportunities. Um, he's got the fighters, he's got the contacts, and I believe I've got the ability to push on for world honors. So a good one here, and hopefully, get talking the matchroom and potentially get on another matchroom show against maybe a matchroom fighter. Who knows? Um, but maybe pushing on because at the minute I think with WBO I'm ranked maybe eighth in the world with WBO. So I'm hoping a win here pushes me up maybe into six or five, and then it could be a world title eliminator after that.
Fantastic. I was going to ask you that next. You mentioned the world title eliminator potentially next, provided you win on Saturday night, of course. How does 2024 look like for you in an ideal world? Is it is it fighting for and challenging for a world title? Is a European title something that you'd want to win? How do you think? What's an ideal 2024 for yourself?
An ideal 2024 would be early 2024, maybe a world title eliminator, and then world title the back end of 2024. Don't see any reason why not. And I believe I'm very capable of challenging any of the top guys in my weight class.
Absolutely. So I was going to ask you about obviously at 140 pounds just across the water, even in England. You look at fighters, some big names there as well. They aren't really on your radar then, the likes of O'Hara Davis, Dalton Smith, Adam Azim, and people like that. Is it more kind of you're looking above that, up at the world scene?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, where I'm at and where they're at, like it's just two different stages of careers. Obviously, you've a hard division shooting for world title now, a world regular title WBA, then he'll get the if he wins that, then he'll push on. I suppose, and I mean, Dalton Smith, he's still young as well. He can hang around, maybe European level. I know Adam Azim already has the European title fight again, defense against Enoch Poulsen, and stuff like that. So, uh, as I say, I haven't really thought much about the future. In an ideal world, yes, I would like to be challenged for a world title next year. But as it stands right now, my main focus is on just winning and beating Sam Maxwell to get another opportunity to push on towards world honours and ideally I would like a big name, one of the bigger names, whether it be like Teofimo Lopez, any of them guys. I don't care. That they've like that's what we're in the sport for, to challenge ourselves against the very best.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. You mentioned at the beginning there of the interview here, Sean, that some of the other big fights on the card. If you don't mind, I'll just kind of run through a few and just kind of your general thoughts and even a prediction on those fights. So the first, obviously, we'll start at the main event. Do you think that Mick will be too strong for Jordan Gill?
Yeah, I think I actually think Mick stops Jordan Gill.
Interesting, interesting. I think it's an interesting fight. Obviously, neither are really known for being huge punchers, but both also do have good stoppages. But yeah, very interesting, very interesting. What about this middleweight fight? There's is it middleweight, light middleweight? Kevin Ajarko, obviously, first real massive test, I'd say. Against Troy Williamson. That's a tough fight, isn't it?
Yeah, I spoke to Keane a few weeks ago about it, and I believe it's a great fight for him at this stage of his career. It's a real breakthrough fight, and one that he can showcase his skill. I know what Keane's capable of doing technically, and his ability ways is very good. Um, if Keane's up, if he's on it mentally, he's put a good camp in. I've seen it. You've seen photos and stuff of him, videos of him. He's in great shape. Like it's going to be a massive progression in his career, and one that'll catapult him and do him the absolute world of good in terms of um in terms of his own confidence and knowing that he can hurt people at that level and compete way beyond that level.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And one I think if you ask any Belfast boxing fan, they're probably most excited for this one as well. I'm sure you, as a fan, Sean, are excited for this one as well. And we are, of course, talking about Darren McKenna, Lewis Crocker. That's just got a war written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I sort of think it doesn't take a boxer to know what sort of fight that's going to be. Anyone that's asked me, I've been very honest about like I truly believe it's a fight of two halves. Um, and I just believe that it's going to be an absolute war. Like Lewis is very heavy handed. Tyrone's very tough. He's took punches off top level opponents in terms of Prograis and Jack Catterall, um, who've competed at the top level, and he gets straight back up again, and he's brought it to them. And he's very capable of doing that with anyone in the world. And as I say, Lewis carries that same power, and it's just a matter of Tyrone, if Tyrone's capable of taking them punches and then pushing on in later rounds with a high tempo, because Tyrone does have serious work rate. And Lewis has serious power. So, but on the end of that power, he's got a really fucking granite chin he's hitting in terms of Tyrone. So it'll be very interesting to see where how that one plans out. Um, and again, it's just a real 50-50 fight for me. Like,
Absolutely. Could totally agree. And obviously, finally, more importantly, back to yourself, Sean. How does it go with Sam Maxwell on December 2nd at the SS Arena in Belfast? What can we expect? What can fans and everybody expect from Public Nuisance?
yeah, well, you know what? It's going to be a great performance for myself. I'm fully confident. I'm not going out there looking for knockouts. Only I carry on. I'm just going out to put on a professional performance, something that I've worked on in the gym for the last 8 weeks, and I've put together really good tactics with my team, and I go out to get a great points victory.
Brilliant, Sean. Well, appreciate your time as always, mate. I'm sure I'll see you at the press conference or whatever during fight week as well, and hopefully I'm fighting out. But yeah, all the best for December 2nd, mate. I'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers, I think, Magic.
Cheers.